There is a moment, always a moment, when the mask of politeness shatters. A colleague dismisses your work in front of others. A partner throws a venom-laced remark, meant to cut deeper than they admit. A so-called friend jokes at your expense, waiting to see if you laugh with them or expose their malice. And in that instant, you feel the heat of blood rising to your face. The instinct? To explain yourself, to defend, to prove them wrong. That instinct is a weakness. Niccolo Machiavelli, centuries ago, whispered the truth that few today can endure. To defend yourself is to confess weakness. To remain silent is to wield power. And here lies the iron law that governs all human dynamics. If you seek power, you must be willing, eager even, to be hated. Most people crave acceptance like air. They want to be liked. They want harmony. They want applause. But understand this: the need to be liked enslaves you. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince, "It is much safer to be feared than loved, if one must choose." Why? Because love is fragile, conditional, fickle. Fear, however, fear lingers. Fear bends the spine. Fear makes people remember your presence even in your absence. The iron law is merciless. If you chase approval, you will forever bend to others. If you accept hatred, you will walk unbent, untouchable. Human beings are predators masked as saints. Every conversation, every exchange is a test of control. The one who must explain loses. The one who remains unfazed wins. Here is the paradox. Clarity is for therapy. Control is for power. You do not explain yourself to an enemy. You let them choke on their own assumptions. You do not correct rumors. You let silence sharpen their mystery. You do not plead innocence. You let their hatred crown you with strength. The crowd despises what it cannot define. And in their confusion, you grow untouchable. Business. In the corporate battlefield, defending every decision signals insecurity. A CEO who explains himself endlessly invites rebellion. The powerful one states, "This is the direction." Those who follow win. Those who resist are left behind. Relationships. The partner who panics at accusations, who over-explains, loses all mystery. The cold reply, "Is that how you see it?" creates unease. Silence breeds respect, even fear. Social life. The man who must justify every choice, his clothes, his tastes, his words, becomes a jester for approval. The one who responds with a single cutting phrase, "Noted," creates an aura that cannot be mocked. Power is not loud. Power is not frantic. Power is cold. Here are weapons few dare wield. Noted. If that's what you believe, is that how you see it? Silence. Each phrase is a dagger, subtle but lethal. They are not explanations. They are reminders that you do not kneel to perception. Understand, silence is not weakness. Silence is a weapon. Silence is an executioner's blade, unseen until it cuts. Hatred is not your enemy. It is your crown. When you detach, when you refuse to cling to affection, you terrify people. They realize, this one does not need us. This one does not fear exile. This one cannot be controlled. That realization sparks whispers. Whispers grow into rumors. Rumors grow into myths. And myths forge power greater than flesh and blood. To be loved is common. To be hated, yet unbroken, is divine. Listen to me now. There will be days when you feel the sting of rejection. There will be nights when the hatred of others weighs on your chest, and you will be tempted to crawl back into their acceptance. Begging for applause, resist it. Destroy that weakness. Machiavelli's iron law is final. Power does not come from being loved. Power comes from being untouchable, even when hated. Let them whisper. Let them despise you. Let them curse your name. Because the one who walks with hatred at his back walks with destiny at his side. The world is not filled with independent thinkers. It is filled with desperate souls starving for validation. They wear masks of confidence, but behind those masks lives a trembling fear. The fear of being hated, excluded, forgotten. And because they fear hatred, they bend, they bow, they explain. They sell their dignity in exchange for a nod, a smile, a crumb of approval. But the few who refuse, those who accept hatred with cold indifference, become something terrifying. They are no longer playing for applause. They are playing for power. Understand this. The masses will never admit it aloud, but they crave to follow someone who is unafraid of rejection. Hatred creates a boundary. A boundary creates hierarchy, and hierarchy is the skeleton of all power. Picture two men in a room. One is accused. His voice rises. He explains. He lists evidence. He pleads with the crowd. The other simply leans back, watching, eyes half closed, unmoved. Who looks guilty? Who looks powerful? The crowd sees the desperate defense as weakness. They do not listen to words. They read posture, tone, silence. The accused becomes small, shrinking beneath the weight of his own explanations. But the silent one, the one who refuses to dance for their approval, grows larger in their minds. Even if hated, he is feared. And fear is the essence of control. Machiavelli knew people respect what unsettles them. They despise what needs their validation. You must reframe hatred. It is not a wound. It is armor. It separates you from the herd. It purifies your circle. It reveals the weak. Think of it this way. If you are universally loved, you are owned because love demands constant feeding, constant explanation, constant sacrifice. But if you are hated by many and respected by few, you have chosen the rarer path, sovereignty. The sovereign does not explain. The sovereign does not beg. The sovereign does not bend to the fragile illusions of harmony. To be hated is to be free. Consider the titan of industry who makes a ruthless decision. Layoffs, restructuring, a merger that crushes competitors. The mob howls, cruel, ruthless, heartless. But years later, when the dust settles, the company survives and thrives because he chose survival over sentiment. Do you see? He was hated in the moment, but remembered as decisive. Had he chosen to appease, to please, to avoid the hatred of the moment, his empire would have fallen. Business is not built on applause. Business is built on the bones of hard, hated decisions. Hatred plays its role here too. The partner who must constantly prove, explain, defend, soon becomes small in the eyes of the other. But the one who holds boundaries, even at the risk of conflict, radiates strength. They may be hated in the moment, called cold, selfish, distant, but beneath that hatred grows respect. And respect endures long after affection fades. A cold reply such as, "You are free to believe what you wish," is not cruelty. It is sovereignty. It is the refusal to become a puppet, dangling on the strings of another's emotions. In every circle of friends, there is one who refuses to kneel. The one who does not laugh at every insult, does not defend every accusation, does not crave inclusion. That one is hated. Whispers follow them, resentment brews. But notice, though hated, they are never ignored. Their name is spoken when they are absent. Their presence shifts the atmosphere when they arrive. To be ignored is death. To be hated is proof of impact. Machiavelli's iron law whispers, "Obscurity kills faster than hatred." You must train your tongue to sharpen silence into steel. Here are weapons more dangerous than 1,000 explanations. If that is what you believe, perhaps. Noted. Silence. Each reply denies the attacker satisfaction. Each reply denies them the drama they crave. Each reply whispers, "I do not need your approval." They will hate you for it, and in that hatred, they will kneel to your power. The Stoics spoke of indifference, of holding serenity even in the face of insult, betrayal, death. But Machiavelli sharpened that serenity into a blade. The Stoic says, "Do not let hatred disturb you." Machiavelli says, "Let hatred empower you." Do you see the difference? Stoicism frees the soul from turbulence. Machiavellianism transforms turbulence into authority. To endure hatred is noble. To wield hatred is sovereign. At first, it will hurt. The sneers, the whispers, the betrayals. Your body will crave defense. Your tongue will itch to explain. But the more you resist, the more you embrace silence, the more you accept hatred, the stronger your aura becomes. One day, you will notice something strange. Their hatred no longer wounds you. It feeds you. Their whispers no longer weaken you. They elevate you, because every drop of venom they spill proves one thing. You are no longer one of them. You are above them. There will come a time when someone you trusted turns against you. Do not be shocked. Do not rage. Do not fall into the childish trap of demanding why. The truth is simple. Betrayal is not a crime. It is a law. Human beings betray because they are weak, because they fear being hated themselves, because survival whispers louder than loyalty. And when they betray you, you are given a choice. Plead with them, explain yourself, drown in weakness. Or embrace the hatred, embrace the venom, and rise above them. Machiavelli understood, to rule, you must accept that loyalty bends with the wind. If you anchor yourself to the need for eternal love, you will drown. If you anchor yourself to indifference, you will reign. Here lies another secret. The mask is everything. To show pain at hatred is to lose. To show indifference is to terrify. Wear the mask of calm. Wear the mask of coldness. Wear the mask of one who walks untouched by the flames of insult. Even if you bleed inside, do not show it, because men and women are not moved by truth. They are moved by perception, and the one who appears untouchable becomes untouchable. Quadrantranandi grows most violently in the dark. When you do not explain yourself, when you refuse to fight their accusations, their imaginations run wild. And in that wildness, your power multiplies. The enemy who attacks you, only to be met with silence, is left to wrestle with their own mind. They question, did I strike too weakly? Did they plan something in return? Why are they not shaken? This psychological warfare destroys them without you lifting a finger. Remember, words are for the weak. Silence is for the rulers. There is a cruel truth. The more you demand to be loved, the less you are respected. The more you embrace being hated, the more mysterious your power becomes. This is the paradox Machiavelli understood. The ruler who tries to be loved by all is devoured by all. The ruler who accepts hatred is feared, and therefore survives. Ask yourself, do you want to be adored like a clown or feared like a king? Picture a leader who stands before a crowd. half cheer, half boo. Most would panic at the boos, scrambling to win the applause of all. But the Machiavellian leader stands still. He does not flinch. He knows the iron law. The boos prove he is not owned by the crowd. A man who has no enemies has no influence. A man hated by many, yet unbroken, becomes a symbol larger than life. The boos are not a sign of weakness. They are the thunder of power. You must train yourself. Hatred will sting at first. Rejection will ache like fire. But steel is forged in fire. Start small. When insulted, do not reply. When mocked, do not explain. When accused, do not defend. Let silence sit like stone. Let their hatred ferment until it poisons only them. In time, you will discover the power of indifference. Their hatred becomes your fortress. Their noise becomes your silence. History remembers the ruthless, not the beloved. Julius Caesar was loved, yet stabbed. Machiavelli himself was hated, exiled, and cursed, yet his words outlived kings. Do not fear hatred, fear irrelevance. The man who is hated carves scars into memory. The man who is merely liked vanishes with the wind. To be hated is to be remembered. To be remembered is to be immortal. Now listen carefully. There will be a day when you stand at a crossroads, to bend, to explain, to beg for love, or to stand, to remain silent, to embrace hatred, choose hatred. Because hatred, paradoxically, liberates you. It cuts the chains of approval. It grants you sovereignty. Machiavelli's iron law is not advice. It is prophecy. The one who is willing to be hated will always surpass the one who needs to be loved. And when they whisper against you, when they curse your name, when they burn with envy at your indifference, you will know you have become untouchable. Hatred is the crown. Wear it. Understand this. Neutrality is death. If you try to please everyone, you vanish into gray. The powerful do not exist in gray. They exist in extremes. Love me or hate me. Follow me or despise me. Kneel to me or plot against me. But never ignore me. This is the law of polarization. The ruler divides the crowd because division feeds attention, and attention feeds power. The need to be universally liked is a silent executioner. The willingness to be hated makes you unforgettable. The weak demand fairness. They cry, "It's not right, it's not just, it's not equal." But fairness is a myth sold to the powerless. The lion does not apologize to the gazelle. The storm does not explain itself to the village it drowns. If you try to be fair, you will be chained by endless arguments, justifications, defenses. But if you stand coldly, if you say simply, "This is how it is," they may hate you, but they cannot stop you. Machiavelli revealed this long ago. Men complain about rulers more than they resist them. So let them complain. Their hatred is noise. Your command is reality. Engrave these in your mind. They are not suggestions. They are laws. Never explain. Explanation is confession. Never beg. Begging is slavery. Never fear enemies. Fear of hatred makes you weak. Silence over defense. The less you say, the more they imagine. Detach. Their approval is a leash. Cut it. 6. Accept isolation. The higher you rise, the fewer stand beside you. Welcome whispers. Rumors are proof you dominate their thoughts. Do not soften. Kindness offered in fear of hatred is weakness disguised. Polarize. Better to divide and rule than unite and be ignored. Crown yourself with hatred. Only then will you taste sovereignty. These are not gentle lessons. They are the iron bones of power. Only those who can carry them will ever be free. And now, the prophecy that few can endure. If you cannot bear hatred, you will never hold power. If you cannot walk alone, you will forever walk in chains. History buries the agreeable, the compliant, the people-pleasers, but history bows to the ruthless. One day, the world will turn on you. Your choices will be mocked. Your silence will be cursed, and they will try to shame you back into the herd. That moment is the trial of your soul. If you stand firm, if you wear hatred like armor, you will ascend into the rare realm of the untouchable. Machiavelli's iron law is not merely about politics or strategy or philosophy. It is about survival. It is about becoming more than human. The need to be loved is a chain. The willingness to be hated is a sword. So take up the sword and never look back.